You know who has a marriage on
For
social
branding.
media?
Who has a marriage
Blake
on social
Lively
media?
and Ryan Reynolds. They are hilarious. Talk about when you were saying, have a marriage on, not like have a marriage on social media, but they do, and they're hilarious.
Yeah, have a marriage,
fun.
but just on social media. Real life, just you're not married.
Sorry, that was a weird tangent.
They are our frenemies, and they know it.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds?
Yes, I've had personal conversations.
What?
I'm just joking.
Oh, we got them over for dinner. Oh my gosh.
They don't know we exist, and why would they? How you doing?
Hey. Hi.
All right.
Happy Monday from Tim and Tammy Eminent.
Happy Monday from Have a Marriage, for haveamarriage.com, Have a Marriage on Twitter, Have a Marriage on Instagram, Have a Marriage, or Tim and Tammy's Marriage Moment on Facebook. We should actually switch that around.
You know who has a marriage on
For
social
branding.
media?
Who has a marriage
Blake
on social
Lively
media?
and Ryan Reynolds. They are hilarious. Talk about when you were saying, have a marriage on, not like have a marriage on social media, but they do, and they're hilarious.
Yeah, have a marriage,
fun.
but just on social media. Real life, just you're not married.
Sorry, that was a weird tangent.
They are our frenemies, and they know it.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds?
Yes, I've had personal conversations.
What?
I'm just joking.
Oh, we got them over for dinner. Oh my gosh.
They don't know we exist, and why would they? Anyways, I'm wearing a military hat.
Why?
Today's topic is leave no spouse behind.
I like that. And what does that mean?
I don't know, I just thought of the name. So, when you're married, you come with all your stuff, and they come with all their stuff. And the joy of marriage is that...
Joy?
The joy of it. I think it's the joy.
Yeah,
the joy. The joy of marriage is with all your stuff, joining the person with their stuff, and then you just live in a whole pile of stuff.
Yeah. Substitute stuff for maybe a different word. Sometimes it is.
A poop synonym.
Sometimes it is. Sometimes you feel like you're living in a big pile of
poop.
stuff.
But the idea of it is that if you just sit in your own stuff,
Filth.
and they sit in their stuff, and no one actually moves, then you don't actually grow or join together with anyone's issues or have a great marriage. Mm-hmm. So you have this whole entire life, and you're dealing with your personal issues, and you have your own Facebook friends, and they are dealing with, you know what I mean? And I have my own stuff and my own social media, and they don't interact. And then you're just like kind of roommates. And I know we kind of come back to that over and over again. If you have a roommate, you let them deal with their life, and you hope they pay the rent. And if your marriage is that way, that's horrible.
That is.
So one of you, with all your stuff, needs to pick up and go to the other person and dump all your stuff on them. And then you can walk away and you feel great. No.
Here's what not to do.
Wrong. But the healthier one of you, and I will let you determine who the healthier one of you is.
That could start an argument.
It could. It could be fun. Are you helping with my stuff because you think you're healthier than me? Well, let me tell you you're not. The healthier one is the one that actually can move. Not the one that can't move.
Yep.
So your stuff just may be different. It may be movable because you're carrying it around with you on your backpack, while someone is in entirely filth, like Linus. Bugs fly in, can't move. So if you're carrying yours, you can carry your stuff over to that person and say, hey, I love you. This is our problem. Let's work on our problem. So we're not going through the whole, this is your issue, you need to figure this out.
Talk to me when you got it figured out. So we
Hashtag,
can have a better
when you
marriage.
figure it out, let me know.
Yeah,
that's
so
horrible.
we could have a better marriage if you could figure this out. You
Right.
just deal with it, whether it's pornography, addiction, alcoholism, whatever, workaholics, craftaholics.
Craftaholics.
I mean, you're spending
Is
too
that
much
a
time.
thing?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just made it up.
Zambo's World of Cakes or whatever that's called. But you kind of get the idea. Someone has to go to the other person and say, hey, here, give me your hand. Let's go. Okay. Let's get you off the floor and let you start walking again.
Pick you up and join you. And sometimes you have to join
and then kind of let's go.
Someone on the floor for a while.
And the thing is that I understand that both of you may be just on the floor pigging out in your own stuff. Like I said, one of you does have to choose to get up. And the glory thing is that you can do this without having a conversation. All right? Whose stuff are we going to work on now? No, just get up and go, hey, honey, I know that you're struggling with this. I want to help you out. Let me know how I can join you and help you in your struggle. The attitude is, you're not going to help me. Look at all the stuff that you're in. That's the wrong attitude. The right attitude is just, all right, awesome.
I don't have to do this alone.
You don't have to do it alone.
Because when you're married, you become one. That means all the crap becomes one. You are together. You're not figuring this out on your own anymore. You're not single anymore. You have got to figure this out together. And that means the spouse that is healthier needs to have grace for the one that may be unhealthy. And the one that's unhealthy not get their pride up and go, there's nothing wrong with me. I don't need help.
Right. Because honestly, you're both unhealthy.
Yeah.
So here's a good example. She's an alcoholic and I smoke a bunch of pot. And I go, hey, honey, your alcoholism's scaring me. And she's like, dude, you're getting stoned every 2 seconds. Okay, let's work on that together. What's that plan look like? Then at least you're joining each other and helping each other through whatever issue you have. She's not an alcoholic and I don't smoke pot every 2 seconds, but you kind of get the idea. Or
pornography. Pornography is a big
pornography and avoidance. You know, hey, you're avoiding the kids. You just go and you shelter yourself when you get home. Mm-hmm. That really bothers me. You're watching too much porn. Okay, let's work on that together. How about we do family game night and that solves both problems. But you kind of get the idea that you have to stop leaving your spouse behind.
Yes.
You have to join them.
You have to join them.
This is a militaristic fight. Your marriage is a huge fight. Yeah, it's never going to get easy.
Fight for it.
It will get a little easy. It'll get easier. It'll get worse. You'll go through up and downs. But you always have to join together and fight it together rather than I have a sniper in the back and I'm the guy up front. You kind of have to be up front together. This is front lines marriage stuff.
Team
all
effort.
of the time. It is a team effort. So joining one
another. There's no I in the word team.
There's no I in the word team, and there's no me in the word team. Then who is on the team? Are you on a team? Are you on the same team as your spouse?
You and moi.
Moi. You and moi. And I just wanted to share that with you. Yeah. Join each other in your stuff and have an open conversation of how to get through your stuff. And if you need professional help, then go seek that out.
But also, I want to just kind of write our own little story here.
You write stories.
I actually meant ride out what we've been through. Because the same thing, your spouse may not even know that you've left them in the dust, and you may not know that you've left them, or neither party may know what's going on here. And that happened with us years ago when we went to counseling, and I didn't even realize that on a grieving process of something that, I had done years prior, he was still grieving on it, and I had gotten over it. Let's move on with our life. Everything's great. Come on, let's go. Get up with me. Join me. Let's go. Let's have a great marriage. And he's like, I'm crippled on the floor over here, and you've left me, and you haven't even tried to join me. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that. I don't even know if he realized that I had left him. Until we really came together and realized I've left him to grieve on his own. I have not joined my husband in this forgiveness, in this joining, in this repentance, in this healing process. And when I did, it blew my mind and everything changed from that.
Everything literally changed where it was like, oh, she came and she picked me up.
And let's pick up together
left
and go
behind.
On together. Right. And that can work, work vice versa. However, it doesn't necessarily have to.
And there are multiple times that I've done that with her. Mm-hmm. A lot of times where I'm like, let's go, let's run, because I'm the free spirit and I want to run in the wind like Phoebe. But it's always drawing. It's always understanding, oh, he's sprinting. I got to tell him to stop sprinting and stop because I need to work on something.
Yeah.
And that's okay that you need to work on stuff. You're going to be working on stuff your entire life. And that's called upgrading. So in other words, if you didn't change from last year to this year, you're just still the same person. Mm-hmm. Or you can work on your stuff, grow up, and have a better relationship with all, not just your spouse.
It is really
and
a maturity
waving my hands a lot.
It is really a maturity thing. It's growing up and not letting your pride. If your pride is keeping you from having a great marriage, that's immaturity.
Yeah.
Just is. We're not perfect. We're in progress. And I love our pastor said that yesterday.
I am perfect.
So, and our pastor said that yesterday. Life, nobody's perfect. We're all in progress. And I thought that with marriage too. Marriage is a process. Fall in love with the process. We've said that before. Fall in love with the process of marriage. You're never going to be perfect. You're going to have ups and downs.
We talk about the process in our 101 series.
It is. And it's beautiful on how to communicate, how to really go, I'm joining you in this. and let's go through this together because it will bond us. It will nurture our marriage. We'll spend time together, and I'll figure you out more. I want to know this man as intimately as I possibly can. And I can only do that by joining him in whatever struggle or trial he may be going through, because it's not a his trial, it's an our trial.
I keep trying to talk.
Heavy breathing turns me on.
Ooh. All right. You also need to understand that we, as marriage coaches, go and get marriage coached.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing.
No.
No one should be above it.
It's a checkup.
And so it's just a checkup. You may need a checkup, and you can check yourselves up with us because we are special. And if you don't trust us, then go find another marriage counselor.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Get some work on it.
But you do need to kind of work on it. And this isn't like a New Year's resolution, I may fail in a month. This is hey, things are kind of broken. Let's go get the broken things fixed so that we could be better.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is drop your pride. When we first got married, the first thing I said was, if you ever say we need to go to counseling, we need to go to counseling. No matter what my attitude is, we need to go to counseling. And that, I had to suck up my pride when she's like, you need to go for a couple of times. And we went. We met a nice counselor. He encouraged us to do this. So it all worked out in the end. But you do have to kind of take some responsibility for your relationship sometime. And don't leave your spouse behind, ever. All right. You can follow us on Have a Marriage. All of our 100 series, 200 series, and the sexy series 300 is on haveamarriage.com. You can follow us on YouTube, Twitter, and Insta. If you have any questions, please DM us. We keep everything private and confidential. And, consensual as well. All right. Peace.